Hi everyone, welcome to the latest and greatest episode. Today I had the pleasure of sitting down with Ornelle Chirezi, a model and also food content creator. In today's episode, we talk about diet culture, we talk about her experience in transferring from modeling to content creating, as well as what it takes to go viral and maintain that virality. She is an extremely vibrant and sweet personality, and I hope you learn as much from this episode as I have. All right, Nel, I am so excited to have you on.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to be here.
For context, I'm super excited to be your first podcast. Absolute honor. I think you're going to do so many in the future, but also I discovered your channel, your Instagram account, I think I want to say 6 months ago. And I loved the way that you cook. I think the way that you cook, you're super passionate and not restrictive. And the recipes that you create, I think are just literally fire. Like they look fire.
Thank you so much. That's exactly what I'm trying to come off as.
So I want to start with your background. So you were born in Rwanda, you spent time in Uganda, and you grew up in Winnipeg.
I did, boom, 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 all over. But I came to Canada when I was 8. That's why, with my whole family, immigrated here like everybody else. And then I guess that's where I got my personality from. I feel pretty Canadian. I was in middle school and high school in Canada, and I was in Winnipeg, in middle of Canada, pretty middle of nowhere.
So you decided to leave to pursue modeling, correct?
Yes, because it was impossible to do it there. It's a very small city, and I went to Vancouver for 6 months. It's not a huge fashion scene there. And then I went to Toronto, and things kind of picked up for me a little bit more, and that's where I was able to start up a career while also working side jobs serving, etc., like most models, but having an actual modeling career was a lot more possible there.
And what were things that you learned about yourself while modeling? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it?
I learned that I'm a very strong person. I learned that I'm very capable of a lot. Moving to Toronto at 19 by myself taught me so much. I did not think I was going to make it ever. My entire family was you go you, but come back in a month because you're going to be crying at the end. But I was there for a while, for 7 months. And I went all the way to Mexico too for 3 months on a model stay, doing some work there too. I was in a city called Guadalajara, and it was incredible. I felt so free and grown. I felt like I had hit whatever the age you start feeling like an adult was. And I finally felt like I was able to be in the world by myself and take care of myself for the first time ever. And that's what I can say modeling definitely gave me. It also gave me my love for food, because when you're a model, you have to be so healthy. Yes. That's where it all came from.
I feel like sometimes I hear with supermodels that's actually the inverse, but you're saying for you,
I know
it helped you develop a good relationship with food. Okay, T. Yeah. Explain more of that.
Okay, but not relationship with food. I developed a really weird bad relationship with food, but let me explain. Okay, so you have to be so healthy. You have to cook so much food yourself because you can't eat out. You can't really eat with your friends, your family, etc. But for me, in the process of doing all of that, I realized how much I loved cooking and how much I loved ingredients and produce and trying different recipes. And I got so creative with how I could derive the most nutrients out of food, out of I don't know, chicken fingers. What can I bread it with that's going to be good for me, Mm-hmm. And in the process, I did become a little bit restrictive and a little bit extreme. But in the end, now I was able to kind of remove all of that, and the love for food still stayed. So I cooked so much for myself because I had to be a healthy model. But at the end, I was wait, I actually think I want to become a chef instead.
So what made you decide to take that jump? And then how did that transfer to your education in food? Because you're at Le Cordon Bleu.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes. Oh my God. So last year I lived in Ottawa. So after Toronto, went to Mexico, and then my family was living in Ottawa at the time. So I was let me come home, figure out my life a little bit, like everybody in their early 20s does. And I was in Montreal actually doing a job for Essence. And while I was there, being a model, you have so much free time. So I would just like sit and think like, oh my God, I love food so much. Like, what if? And I was like, I should go to culinary school because to me, I'm so like, I full send everything, right? Like, I just do things like I get myself in a lot of trouble because I'm just doing things, but I learn a lot along the way. So I was like, I should just go to culinary school. And if I hate it the first month, I'll just drop out. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's not a degree. It's not like I'm like tied there for a very long time. It's a 9-month program. And I wanted to go to a culinary school that was very top notch, hard, and also short. So Le Cordon Bleu is it started in France, and it has like schools all over the world. But their whole thing is that it's intensive and short. So instead of like 2 years program, it's like 9 months. It's very intense, but you learn very fast by like some of the top chefs. And I learned that there was one here in Ottawa. So while I was modeling in Montreal, I was like, oh my God, like, hey, when I come back, let's just try this thing out. And if you love it, like stay. If you don't, leave and go back to modeling and whatever else you were doing. I applied for the school. It's not very, I think, very complex to like get in. It's also like a private school, so you just have to have the means, I guess. Got in, and then starting January, so it was like I made the decision like November. January came, and then I was full-fledged in like culinary school. It was incredible. It's exactly like how you would imagine.
Is it like
being on,
Ratatouille?
like,
Anyone can cook.
no,
Like
it's
you
like
just have
being
people
on
running
Top
around.
Chef, actually.
So it's really intense.
And mind you, like the intensity is literally like you're making a salad, but it's still
Okay, wait. Tell me more. Like, I think I was so curious about your love for food because you really turned it into a craft. I think what drew me to your videos is that like it was like an art form, and it was not only like I want to eat it, but it's so beautiful, and I feel like you have like different cultures. I feel like bring so much
Mhm.
appreciation and different kinds of appreciation to the food, and I guess I'm curious as to what has culinary school taught you about food? Like, how has it changed your relationship with food, whether it be cooking or how you pick ingredients? And like, I have so many questions.
Oh my God. Okay. So I've always been like an artsy kid, loved art growing up, just absolutely did. And that's why like modeling was so great for me because you were just like a different person every single day. You were on a set, new clothes, new lighting, new like photography style, new photographers. It was just like making art all the time. And that's why I loved it so much. So food, the only way also I was able to be so healthy was like making my food beautiful. And that was like a huge thing for me. My plates would be cute. They'd be plated all nice and stuff. Like I would look up like plates on Pinterest, like literally just plates, and I'll just like look and scroll hours and hours and hours of just looking up pretty plates. That's what I wanted to bring to the content that I would make online because I also wanted it to be something that I would enjoy. Like I know a lot of people create content that I feel like they need to make, but this also needed to be something that I would enjoy. And then culinary school was just like the techniques, just cooking very fast, cooking multiple things all at once, cooking things that you do not know how. The whole process of cooking honestly is like very similar across the board, like around different countries,
Oh,
but they
interesting.
just change it up a little bit. But once you go to culinary school and everything becomes so technical, and it's almost like it's like a trade, like it's just like a trade that you learn. There's people that I know at culinary school that don't even like cooking at home, but they love the job of cooking. You know what I mean?
Okay, interesting.
So for me, I was a person that loved cooking at home anyway. So being able to learn the techniques that would make me better, faster, be able to like create things that were a little bit more complex made home cooking like so much easier for me, just creating content because now my brain feels like it can expand a little bit wider. And the ingredients, they teach you like ingredients that you should buy, meat, like God, like how to debone a chicken or a lamb or like rabbit. And because this was a French culinary school, like we would cook things like frog or so many different fish, like how to cut fish properly, all the like different knives that you need to be able to like work with. Just all the like very, very technical things that, God, I don't know, like I could have learned this myself maybe, but it wouldn't have made sense to me unless I was there, you
Hmm.
know, like it's just one of those things that you need someone to be with you, like showing you how to do it with your hands, or else it feels like someone's speaking gibberish to
Also, you're
you.
making me want to go to culinary school. Oh shit, I'm gonna
It's
sign up.
oh my God, everyone that I tell about it, I'm like, nobody talks about it that it's like an option. Like you think people that go to culinary school are just going to be working, I don't know, in like restaurants, making like cutting, I don't know, carrots all day, but it's not. So many different people go. And a lot of like my classmates weren't even wanting to work in the industry. They were just like, I don't know, like some were like retired, you know, and they just are taking the 3 month version of the
Yeah,
program.
it's like literally like to me,
Yes.
it's like a craft. Is there anything that you've learned from culinary school that you apply to your life outside of cooking?
Patience.
Patience. Okay.
Patience. Patience. And yeah, I was just saying patience because food can have like a mind of its own, and you just have to trust the process. Cooking like would make me literally want to rip out. I'm bald. I was gonna say rip out my hair. But, no hair left.
You must have been
um,
really frustrated then.
yes, I would want to rip out the little hairs that I have left because food sometimes just has its own mind, and I would have to have like an immense amount of patience with myself. And also something that my teachers would also always remind me is that this is like my first time truly cooking. Not that I hadn't cooked before, but the first time like doing it by the book, in a very intense way, like doing dishes that, oh my God, I would have never thought that I'd be doing. You know, these like very classic dishes that have just been around for like hundreds of years. Um, and I would just have to like be so patient with myself, but also with the food and just with the process. I'm able to apply that to my day-to-day life too, obviously, but that's something that I just wish people would have more with their own cooking too. I feel like I should talk about this.
Yeah, 100%.
But
You should make
I
videos about it.
should,
Like
yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of cooking content on social media that comes off as very unrealistic, right? It's like you have to make this,
Yes.
you have to have this machine that weighs, you got to
Oh
have
my God, the
the whipped cream
gadgets.
blender, all the gadgets, and that are super expensive and not
Hmm.
probably easily accessible to the everyday person. And I feel like you do a good job of making it seem more realistic. I still have yet to try a recipe. I really
It's
want
okay. It's okay. Like
to.
I have such a small kitchen that I can't even have the big gadgets I wanted. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I look at recipes and I'm like, even I look at things and I'm like, God, like I wish I could do that. I just don't have the counter space for it. Like I wish I could have a massive juicer and juice like
You and me both,
how many
girl.
liters? Like,
A girl can
like I
dream.
can't. Yeah,
No,
so I have to work for like also what people have because I also think of the people that follow me and like what would they have in their kitchen and like what they're not gonna have like a 9 piece knife set that like I got gifted from some company, you know, like I'm just gonna have to use like my one chef knife and then figure out how to do everything with it.
hmm. And what's something that your favorite professor taught you about cooking? Like, what's something that you learned that you really appreciate?
Oh my God, my favorite. So I have a teacher. I'm also not done. So she's going to be teaching me the last like 3 months I have.
Hmm.
But she's a major like food lover. She loves food. She loves a lot of different cultural foods. And she just taught me to taste. She would always yell at me to like taste my food while I was cooking because I had this like bad habit of just cooking and never tasting anything. You know, like never, because the whole point is to know how everything tastes at the different steps when you're cooking, to make sure that it tastes exactly like it's supposed to by the end. So she would always encourage me to taste everything along the process, but also to taste food outside of like school and to taste a lot of different food from a lot of different cultures because that's the only way your brain really grows and the only way your taste buds grow. I'm not like a super picky eater, so I like ran with it. When she told me this, I was like, wait, like, is that why you're so good at cooking? And she goes, yeah, because I eat everything. And I was like, oh my God, I will too. So now I taste everything from like all my friends, like if their family is from a country that I have not really had their food, I'm like, can you please invite me over for dinner? Like, I just want to hang out with your mom and see how she makes whatever she's making.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like an advantage that I hopefully will have in the future, just because I'll be able to see how different people cook.
Yeah, and you have
And
such a diverse background. Like, I feel like you come from so many
yes,
places, so you kind of come to the table with that already in mind.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And even my mom now, I'm like, want to hang out and like cook something that from like our country. Like, because when I was growing up, I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, leave me alone. I was just like an awful teenager. I was like, no, I don't want to cook with you. Like, why do you want me to cook with you? Like, just make the food and I'll come to dinner. And
Now
now
you're
I'm
like, we
like,
can do it together.
I'm like, do you need me to help you? Like, I'll make the carrots. But that's, yeah, just tasting everything.
Taste everything. Got it. I already do that, so it
Yes.
shouldn't be a problem
Okay.
for me. When we spoke a little bit earlier, you said the way you've created content around cooking has changed. When earlier back when you started making videos, the food was a lot more clean. It was a lot more structured. It sounded like it was a lot more restrictive. Now, since then, I feel like you cook what feels good, what looks good, what tastes good. How has that changed over time, and what triggered that change?
So I initially started making food content because I was like modeling, I was eating very clean, very healthy. And again, like with everything, it was a little too extreme. It just felt extreme, but I thought it was the only way I could like maintain this physique, this lifestyle, and just the way that I looked. When I shifted my career focus from modeling to a career in like the culinary world, I realized that I could not be restrictive with myself with food, because again, the whole like taste everything would not be able to be applied to like my life. So I would not be able to taste everything because I can't eat everything. Therefore, I felt like I couldn't be as good of a chef as I wanted to be unless I took off all the restrictions and just started cooking everything with like more fat, more sugar, more flavor, because that's how most people in the world live anyways, right? So that's like the only reason I changed, just because like my career focus changed and I realized that like I need to be a good chef. So I need to be able to like cook everything and therefore like eat everything.
Amazing. And you mentioned that you had orthorexia. What does that look like, and how did you recognize it and heal from it?
Well, I've had like all sort of like weird eating issues, just like every other, I feel like, woman in the world.
True.
But
True.
but that one was it was so special because it doesn't look alarming, and it doesn't even feel alarming. You just feel like you've made this huge like change in your life, and you're just a very, very, very healthy person. But it starts to feel alarming when like quote unquote not being healthy is scary, is like you genuinely fear like, I don't know, like white rice, or like you fear adding olive oil to your bread at a restaurant. Like you fear a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
very random, weird things that you've decided are unhealthy. And you could easily eat like a poke bowl that's like more calories than, I don't know, like a sandwich at the bodega. But your brain has like constructed this very weird ideology between like healthy and unhealthy. And that's orthorexia for you. You're just like a really, really healthy person.
Yeah, and I feel like honestly a lot more people than we think suffer with that. I think we've gone pretty big in diet culture. I think the pendulum always
Yeah.
swings back and forth, right? I think at one point it was the opposite. It was like super skinny culture, and then it was like a lot of acceptance, and then now I feel like we're swinging back towards the middle, dieting, Ozempic, all that stuff. But I think something that a lot of people in food, I think, potentially get wrong is just like letting people enjoy what they eat. I think that's part of what makes cooking so beautiful. And I was guilty of the same thing. I don't know if I had that by diagnosis, but I remember.
I don't know, because it's just like a scale. You don't even know. Like even when you're in it, you don't know. You're just like, am I doing this because like the fitness
I became
told me like
yeah, I became hyper fixated on just the calories. I was like, what kind of calories are these? Are these fat calories? Are these sugar calories? And this is going to be metabolized into fat, blah, 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 all this stuff.
Oh my God, me too. was like looking like insulin resistance tips, hacks, as if I had diabetes.
I'm
Like how to optimize your insulin. Like what?
Okay, that leads me to my next question. What is the
Yeah.
biggest misconception people have about eating intuitively?
That your body doesn't know what to do. I think like a lot of people think their bodies are stupid, and that's like what I thought too. I was like, if I just eat like quote unquote normal, like I'll be ginormous and like my body's just gonna freak out and just go crazy. That is not what happens. You end up looking the way your body needs you to look. And if you do, like you can so eat balance. You just have to let go. Like it's the fear, it's like chains. Like once you let go of them, yeah, it's a little bit freaky at first, but at the end you end up looking just normal. Like you just end up looking normal.
And you feel
Um,
probably better as well
you
versus
do.
being
Your brain, I
obsessive.
swear, your brain is like not, your body's not stupid, I promise. Your brain lets go and it's so relaxed and you eat like when you're hungry. Like you wake up, I'm hungry in the morning. Like I wake up and I just have a normal breakfast. A few hours later, maybe I'll have a snack, lunch, maybe snack, I don't know, dinner. And then I'm full and then my body's like, yo, stop. And then I'm like, okay, like if I eat more than this, like I'm gonna feel like crap. And then I just stop. But I couldn't, I did the exact same thing when I had orthorexia. It just was filled with like anxiety. Like every meal was anxiety. It was like, oh my God, it was just so anxiety inducing. And I would eat my meal and still be anxious that I'm gonna be hungry. But I wouldn't be because like that's not how your body works.
Because your body knows. The body
Your
keeps
body
score,
knows.
as we say.
The body keeps score and the body knows. Just have to trust it.
Mm-hmm. And so you've grown your social media following quite a lot. When did you notice it started to pick up? Like what has been the
Oh my
inflection point?
God.
I literally like predict that you are just gonna be at 1 million, I think in the next like I don't know,
A million
year,
is scary.
a year, 2
People
years.
start getting mean at 1 million.
I agree. So when I used to be an educational influencer when I was in college, and I think I got like 300,000 followers, but it was ruthless. People are ruthless.
Wow. And 300K is like, like it's great, but people are so, even now, excuse me.
Do you get hate? Do you get hate
oh
comments?
my God, all the time.
About what? About what could they possibly be hating you for? Literally, what on earth?
About the most random things, like the way I say things, the way like eat, the way that I cook, the ingredients that I use, like the technicalities of food, especially because I made like a series that a few videos like went viral off of. It was like healthy recipes from around the world.
Yes,
I think
that's how I discovered you. That's how I discovered you.
People are so gatekeepy about their culture.
Yeah, no, I remember I saw this video of this girl. She was white. She was making tacos. And someone said, like, my culture is not your food. And I was like, dude, what? Like, she's literally paying her respects. She's making the recipe. It looks amazing. How do you deal with that?
I don't. Because okay, the way things like hit me is if they're about me. And I run a food account where I'm just making food. Food is not me. Like, I'm not that whatever rice dish. So if they're like, that rice dish looks disgusting and awful, they're not calling me disgusting and awful, so I don't care.
You don't take it personally,
Yes. The second they're like, oh, she's so inconsiderate because she used XYZ, then I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not an inconsiderate person.
I'm literally just like making food.
Yes, I remember, oh my God, this one time I had like a burrito wrapping video. I no voiceover or anything. It was like 10 seconds of me just like showing people how to wrap a burrito. That one was really bad. It had like 7 million views on Reels, and all the comments were just racist. Like, my face wasn't even in it. It was just my hands. And all of them were like, I can't believe these hands are making the burrito. This is disgusting. Like, they were like, the second I saw these hands like touch it, I don't even want to eat this now. And I was like, where is this coming from?
The internet is such a hateful place. Changed my mind. Oh my goodness. But so you just deal with it by not taking it personally.
Well, no, because it's ridiculous. I can't. It's so absurd and odd. So I can't. Or like on TikTok, people are a little bit more like personal. So if I post like something that's about me or my life and like I remember I made like an ad once. It was for like teeth whitening strips and super viral. Everyone told me to get braces. Like everyone was like, your teeth are chopped and we don't want to look at your face right now.
People are so ruthless. It's literally almost laughable at a point. Like I don't.
You have to laugh. You have to laugh because it's so insane. So I had to turn off the comments because I couldn't wake up at like 7 a.m. every day and see my notifications being like 13-year-old boys calling me ugly. I was like, I can't do this. I'm done. I finished high school a long time ago. Like.
Yeah, it really brings you back to that point. But what have you noticed that you've done that has worked, and how do you continue to replicate that? Because your series clearly did really well. So to creators that are looking to get started, to food influencers or any influencers at all, how do you go about finding that knack that you have, that edge that you have, and then doubling down on it?
Oh my God. I feel like I've been social media trained since I was like a kid. Like I was so obsessed with like editing my photos and posting on like Instagram and like editing just everything to be so aesthetically pleasing that I think the thing that helped me was just making sure everything looked good. Like good. My phone is just like a 14 Pro, but making sure like the back camera was clean, like making sure everything looked proportionate and like dimensionally nice, like making sure the color of the plate against like the backdrop was like made sense. Do you know what I mean? Like color theory, making sure I would garnish my food. Like I'm not just gonna make like a chicken soup. It will have like some drizzles of oil because the oil on like the warm soup just like expands and then it starts shining. And then like adding some garnishes on top because it makes the biggest difference. Because when people are scrolling, like your eyes just they get attracted by just beautiful things. That's the whole reason we're on social media and we love it so much because we're just looking at beautiful things all day. And I think that's what helped. I just made food and it looked like it tasted good because I was able to use like the textures and the colors and just enhancing them. And then also just I wasn't like afraid to not copy but like take inspiration from like other creators styles that have worked. So just listening to other bigger creators, the way they do their voiceovers, the intensity, the organization that they use with their layout of their videos, just like the way they cut shots into their videos, it's a lot cleaner than like I would be doing. So I would adjust mine to be similar to theirs. And then along the way, I'd find my own personal way of doing things because I would do it so often. And yeah, that helped a lot. And lastly, just posting like all the time.
How often do you post? I know you said you're on a little break because you're more of a private chef for a client now, but
yes.
How often do you post?
Oh my God, with a series, like it has to be, I would try like every second day or every day. And it was really hard, but I would try to like batch create the content and just keep editing. I felt like every free time I got, because I was in school too, so it was a little bit harder, but any free time I got, I would just be editing. And obviously, like as you edit, it gets better and better. You just become better at it. And you also pick up on like different things. But I would try to do every day or every second day if I was doing a series. If I wasn't doing a series, it would be maybe like 3-4 times a week. Super consistently though. So 3-4 times a week, like that was the rule. Sorry, I brain fart.
No, you're good. And have you ever felt boxed in by what your audience expects from you when it comes to cooking, or do you feel like you can still operate, especially as you scale, with a lot of freedom?
Of course. I would just try new things. Like I would feel boxed in. For example, I started making like oatmeal recipes and they went super viral and I felt really good about them. And I knew every time I would do like an oatmeal recipe, it would just go really viral and be great. But I was in culinary school and I was like learning how to cook food. So I was like, I can't just be making oatmeal all the time. And I just started doing other recipes. And at first, like some of them, I look at them and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look that great. But I just kept doing it because I knew what my goal was. And the middle part of like getting there was just like none of my business. I was like, I have to do what needs to be done. And people are going to like it regardless because I love it. And I'm going to do my best at it and add lots of passion. So they'll be able to see that. And also, there's all kinds of people in the world, like all kinds of people on the internet. They will find me. Like people that love this kind of food are going to find me, and they have. I just had to trust before they got there.
Me. And so
no, exactly, yes.
What should people know, the people who are content creators, what should they know about going viral? Like if you could give them a couple lessons on what it takes to go viral and how to maintain that virality long term, what would you say are those tips?
Oh my God. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it, because now there's a lot of eyes on you and you have a great opportunity to kind of build off of it. So you can create videos that were similar to the video that made you go viral, but they have to be a little bit different. And then it has to be gradual and kind of organic, where you shift your videos back to like what you were making before, or similar, or like a nice blend of like a different style of video with your viral videos. Do you know what I mean? So just kind of build off of the video that went viral by creating something similar, but do not be afraid to create something different, because those are people that like a lot of people are watching you now, and now you have a bigger audience. So they're kind of waiting. They're like, you've got 30 minutes. Like we're waiting now.
Yeah. And I feel like everyone's attention span has have shortened by a lot. What are the ways you think the food content creation sector or area has changed in the last couple of years?
Honestly, I haven't been around in the food content world to know how big it's changed in the last few years. I've noticed, like, just for the time that I've been here, though, like last year and this year, it's just very big on healthy food. Like, it's just very, very, which is like ironic because like we had this whole conversation on like eating disorders, but everybody's trying to be healthy now, and everybody wants something that's high protein. So even if you don't create food content that is like quote unquote gym bro food, I would highly recommend to a lot of food content creators to incorporate like at least a little bit of it, because it is what everybody's looking for right now. You know, like I've noticed even other content creators that didn't create like quote unquote healthy food or whatever, they've just started to incorporate it a little bit more, because brands are also looking to work with content creators that do talk about that kind of thing, that like do create quote unquote like healthy food or like high protein. Just everybody's obsessed with macros right now. So it's it's that balance of like doing what you want, but also catering to your audience, because unfortunately that is like the audience, like society's just like that right now.
Yeah. And what have you learned from building yourself in public? What are the biggest things that you've learned? I've
learned that people like me just the way I am.
For sure. For sure. No, I was like, when I saw your videos, I was like, you know what? I really like her. I thought the way you were filming your videos was very authentic. I loved your recipes. I was like in awe by your recipes. I have so many of them saved. I haven't yet to cook, but I will one day. But I just think that you bring a lot of authenticity. I can't exactly pinpoint where that comes from, but I do feel like a lot of content creators do try to follow a lot of trends. At least that's what I experienced when I was doing content creation. But yeah, I just think you bring like a lot of authenticity to it. Like you really are you know?
No, like exactly that. Like I just had to, even when I'm doing my voiceovers, I don't have like, I used to try to have like scripts or like try to write something, but I couldn't. It looked and sounded weird. So I just sit on my couch and I just start talking. I don't explain the food in like weird chef terms because I know nobody knows it. So I explain things in a way that like someone that has literally never cooked before is going to understand. And when I'm on camera and I'm talking, I have all my like normal mannerisms, and I say like and literally all the time, like a valley girl, so I don't get rid of that. because like why would I do that? It's me. So I was so surprised when people would comment that they liked the way that I talked or like my videos were, because I genuinely thought that I had to like box myself too. But I knew deep down that like, no, it would work. Like you just have to be yourself and people are going to like you just the way your friends like you. Like your friends like you because you're a cool person. And it worked out. And I've seen all kinds of content creators too. That's why like you have to believe that, because I've seen all kinds of content creators with so many different personalities, and that's why they radiate, because they're so unique. Like you cannot find anybody else like them, and that's what people are always looking for, because it's exciting for them.
Yeah. There's like a couple content creators that I watch, and they just, again, they're just so unapologetically themselves, and I give them so much credit.
Yes,
So kudos to you on that. And
exactly.
So since you become a private chef, what has that been like, and how does that compare to being in culinary school? Is there anything that culinary school has taught you about being a private chef? Is that something you want to do long term?
100%. I started like earlier this summer, because I wasn't in school at the time and I had time to like take on a client. So it's just everything that I literally did in culinary school is what I do now, like in my kitchen. I meal prep for my clients and then I drop it off at their house. And all the like slip ups and mistakes and how to fix them, all things that I learned at culinary school that I would have never in a million years learned how to fix. That's where I learned. And just like the multiple dishes, I have to create so many servings, like for dishes for my clients. And I would have never learned how to like just how to be able to create so many dishes all at the same time. Like sometimes I'll have 4 pots going on the stove and they're all like 4 different things. And I'm like, I need my focus needs to be on all 4 of them and how to make them perfect and delicious. Because these people are paying me, and also like I'm getting paid, like this is not, I can't really screw up. Like someone's paying me and trusting me. And yeah,
and
it's just, sorry, go ahead.
No, Jinx, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying that just knowing when you're being compensated for something, it becomes a lot more serious.
Yeah. Okay, true. Yeah, that's fair. Like a job versus unpaid internship.
No, exactly.
And my last question is, what is your personal favorite recipe, and explain to me exactly why you love it so much?
Oh my God, okay. My personal favorite recipe is a stew. It's like a slow cooked stew. It's very African. If you'll meet not any African, because Africa is like so big, but personally from Rwanda, like East Africa, we love stews. We love slow cooking meat. My family goes to restaurants and they only eat well done steaks because they're not used to like, yes, they're not. It's like a thing back home. They're not used to eating steaks like raw or rare or like medium rare. Meat is just cooked for a long time and it's like tender or it's hard. But stews, maybe like a tomato based beef stew. The beef has been cooked for like a really long time, so it's just kind of like melting in your mouth, You're
making my mouth water right now. I'm so hungry.
Kind of like a pot roast. I love pot roast. It's so like homey and warm, and it's just filled with so much flavor. And some potatoes, some potatoes in there, baby carrots.
But what's a seasoning that we just don't use enough? Like what's an underrated? Give me an underrated seasoning. Garlic salt, for example. I think everyone's on garlic salt, but garlic salt is just
yes,
so good. Is there one that we just don't utilize enough?
Lemon. Sorry, that's not a seasoning, but lemon. At culinary school, we would finish so many things with like an acid or like lemon, and the whole point of it is like it brightens food, right? So a lot of like Mediterranean food just tastes so fresh because it's finished with lemon all the time. And it has that like zing that you're like, oh, this is like Mediterranean food. So just finishing things with lemon, like a lot of soups, you should finish them with lemon, or like
interesting.
Salad. Yes.
Yeah.
Just try that. Just grab like whatever you're eating, add a little squeeze of lemon on it, and you'll be like, whoa, like this tastes alive. Like it tastes like
it's a little zing. It's a little pep in the step. You know what I mean?
It is. And salt. Nobody adds enough salt to their food because they're scared.
I think there's like just scared of sodium. Yeah. And scared of over seasoning.
Yes. But the amount of salt that's going to give you sodium problems is like a lot of salt, but I think not enough people add salt. And then you don't want to eat your food because you think it tastes bad, but it doesn't taste bad. It just needs salt.
What's something you can do to balance out salt if there's too much salt? Is there anything that like counteracts that? Like the color wheels? Is there like a food wheel that you can counteract? Yes,
those actually more fat does help, and more acid too, like the lemon. If you feel like it has a lot of salt, you can add lemon, like a squeeze.
Okay,
and if there's too much bitterness,
you can add salt.
Bitter, I think it's sugar, it's sweetness. You can add sweetness to it.
That's so interesting.
Yes. Sweetness too. Not enough people make things sweet. Like, you should add a little bit of sweetness to things. It does balance out the flavors.
But how can you do that without I feel like this is such complicated.
I know, but it's the mindset.
But how do you do that without? I'm literally contributing to the problem. How do you do it without adding a ton of sugar?
Like, when you're cooking, you're making a big pot of something with multiple servings. So if you add like a tablespoon of like, I don't know, maple syrup, honey, you know, like a tablespoon of honey in a pot with 4 servings, that honey's going to be distributed like all over. You're not just sitting down and eating a whole tablespoon of honey, you know?
True.
And it'll taste still good. And you really have not eaten as much sugar as you think you have.
Okay. Amazing advice.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. How can people support you and follow your journey and make all your insanely good looking recipes?
Follow me at Nel Nourish. It's NELNOU. Watch me not know how to spell this. Nourish is NOURISH. Nel Nourish. It's on TikTok and Instagram. I haven't ventured out into like, I need to make a Facebook one of these days. I hate Facebook.
Oh, you do so well on Facebook. The moms would love you.
Oh my God.
The community, the Facebook groups would love you.
But it's on my to-do list. So one of these days I will. And I don't have the amount of time that's needed to make YouTube videos. So I'm not there either.
No, you should. What you should be doing is you should be reposting your Instagram reels on Shorts. I think at least.
I should, yes.
Colin, is that effective? I'm asking the producer. Yes, he says it's effective. Okay, for sure.
Perfect. I'm on it. It's on my to-do list. End of this week, it'll be done.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming. It was really amazing to have you, and I'm excited to literally cooking one of your recipes this weekend.
This was so fun. This was amazing. Same time next week? Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay,
Thank you.
You're welcome.